sa senior high school back to basic. Ngayon, tatalakayin natin ang functions na siyang unang aralin sa first quarter ng General Mathematics. Ako nga pala si Teacher EJ at sasamahan tayo ni Dr. Einstein sa pagtuklas ng mga sekreto ng functions. Ang ating learning competency para sa ating lesson na function ay, at the end of this session, you are able to represent real-life situations using functions, including piecewise functions. E-define muna natin kung ano ang relation. It is a rule that relates values from a set of values, called the domain, to a second set of values, called the range. It is a set of ordered pairs x, y. Ito ay isang rule na kung saan may dalawang sets, pwedeng mga numero, letra, o mga salita. Ang unang set ay tinatawag nating domain at ang pangalawang set ay tinatawag nating range. Bawat element sa domain ay mayroong image sa range. Ang relation ay pwede rin sa mga ordered pairs na x and y. Ito nga pala yung mga examples ng relation na nasa set of ordered pairs. So, una, set F, we have 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6. Ito nga palang way ng pagkakasulat ng set F ay tinatawag nating roster form, na kung saan bawat element ay pinaghihiwalay ng comma. Next is set G. We have 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, and 3, 7. And lastly, set H. We have 1, 3, 2, 6, 3, 9. So, dot, dot, dot means ellipsis. Ibig sabihin, merong mga elements sa gitna nila, then n, 3n, and then dot, dot, dot. Ibig sabihin, infinite ang set H or wala siyang katapusan. Ngayon, i-define naman natin kung ano ang function. It is a relation where each element in the domain is related to only one value in the range by some rule. Ibig sabihin, ang function ay isa rin palang relation. Pero, yung kanyang domain, dapat may image na isa lang sa kanyang range. Ang function ay isa ring set of ordered pairs, x, y. Pero, yung kanyang x values ay hindi dapat dumoble or wala dapat magkatulad kahit na iba ang mga y values nila. So, gamit ang functional notation, pwede nating isulat as f of x is equal to y, na binabasa natin as f of x is equal to y. In particular, kung meron tayong ordered pair na 1, 2, pwede natin ding isulat ito as f of 2 is equal to 1, wherein yung 1 ay ang ating domain at siya rin ang ating independent variable at ang 2 ang ating range at siya rin ang ating dependent variable. Okay, so ito na yung mga examples natin ng functions in a set of ordered pairs. So set F, we have 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6. Pansinin nyo yung mga x values nila. So yung 1, 2, 4, and 3. Walang magkakatulad na x values. Next, set G, 1, 3, 9, 4, 2, 5, 10, 6, 3, 7. So, pansinin nyo yung mga x values, 1, 9, 2, 10, at 3. So, wala ring magkakatulad. And lastly, set H, 1, 3, 2, 6, 3, 12, dot, 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 which means ellipsis, merong mga elements sa gitna, n, 2n, and then ellipsis. So, infinite ulit yung set H. So, dito, sa nakikita natin, wala tayong nakikitang parehong x values. Therefore, lahat ng yan ay functions. O, ngayon, kayo naman, try nyo to. Determine whether each relation is a function or not. Letter A, f is equal to 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 8. Set G is equal to 3, 2, 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 3, negative 2. And set H, we have 1, 1, 2, 8, 3, 27, 4, 64, and so on. So, i-determine nyo lang kung function or not function. So, eto na yung solution natin. Alin dyan ang function at alin dyan ang hindi function. So, si set F at si set H ay mga functions. Kasi, kung mapapansin nyo, walang parehong domain or value of x. While si set G ay hindi function kasi umulit si 0. Okay, itong tatandaan nyo. Assuming itong malaking circle na kulay yellow ay ang relation. At itong maliit na circle na nasa loob ng kulay yellow na circle ay ang function. Ano ibig sabihin? Ibig sabihin, all functions are relations but not all relations are functions. Okay? Ngayon, dumako naman tayo sa mapping diagrams. Isa sa mga paraan para ma-determine mo kung function o relation ang isang set ay through mapping diagrams. So, relations and functions can be represented by mapping diagrams where the elements of the domain are mapped to the elements of the range using arrows. In this case, the relation of function is represented by the set of all connections represented by the arrows. Ibig sabihin, mula sa isang set sa domain, patungo sa set sa range, ay tinuturo ang bawat imahe ng domain sa range sa pamamagitan ng arrow. Okay, so dumako naman tayo sa examples. So we have here set A. So the domain is set X and it has the elements of 1, 2, and 3. So ang sa set X ay si domain and we can also write it in roster form, which is set X is equal to 1, 2, 3. So this is set Y. And the elements of set Y is 4, 5, and 6. So set Y is the range, and you can also write it in roster form like this one. So the image of 1 is 4. Ang image ni 2 ay 5. At ang image ni 3 ay 6. Pansinin nyo na sa bawat image ni domain, ay may isang, sa bawat element ni domain ay may isang image sa range. So, pagka ganyan ang itsura ng inyong mapping diagram, ang tawag dyan ay 1-to-1. Pwede rin natin siyang isulat into roster form na set A has an element of 1, 4, 2, 5, and 3, 6. Saan galing itong mga element na to? Ito yung pinagsamang domain. Yung 1 ay si domain. At si 4 ay si range. Ito yon 1. Si range ay si 4. Si 2 ay si domain. Si 5 ay si range. Si 3 ay si domain. At si 6 ay si range. So, pagka ganyan ang itsura ng iyong mapping diagram, siya ay function. Bakit? Kasi walang umulit sa domain niya. So, pansinin nyo. In set B, we have the domain red and green. And in range, we have the element grass, heart, and apple. So, we can also write them in roster form. So, the image of red is heart, and also the image of red is apple. pansinin nyo, dalawa ang image ni red sa range. The image of green is grass. So, tawag dyan ay one-to-many. Dahil isa lang yung domain, tapos marami sa range. Kaya one-to-many. So, kung isusulat siya sa roster form, we have set B ay may element na red heart, red apple, green grass. So, definitely, this is not a function dahil umulit si red. Next, we have set C. So, set C has a domain of -5, 0, and 2. And the range have an element of a plus 1 and 8. So, -5 has an image of a plus 1. Also, 0 has an image of a plus 1. And si 2, ang image niya ay si 8. Ang tawag dyan ay many to 1. Dahil dalawa yung domain sa iisang range. So, kasi sulat sa roster form, we have set C, we have -5, a plus 1, 0, a plus 1, and 2, 8. So, this is a function kasi wala namang umulit sa domain. Next is set D. So, in domain, we have 3x, x plus 5, and x minus 3. And in range, we have elements 4, -9, and 11. So, the image of 3x is 4 as well as 11. The image of x plus 5 is -9 as well as 11 also. And x minus 3 has an image of 4. This is called many-to-many mapping diagram. If we're going to write it in roster form, ganito yung magiging itsura niya. So, set D has elements of 3x4, 3x11, x plus 5 -9, x plus 5 11, x minus 3 4. Definitely, this is not a function kasi as you can see, umulit na maraming beses yung mga elements ng domain. Okay, for the last example, we have set E. So, dito naman, uunahin kong ipakita yung mismong roster form ng set. Ngayon, itatry natin siyang ilagay sa mapping diagram. Tapos, i-identify natin anong klaseng mapping diagram siya. So, the elements of set E are A0, A1, B1, and C2. So, definitely, this is not a function kasi, as you can see, umulit si element A. Ayan. And C. Okay, kahit umulit si range na 1, okay lang yon. Okay? So, we have ABC in domain and we have 0, 1, 2 in range. So, tingnan natin kung paano ipopoint. So, the first element is A0. The second element is A1. Ayun. And the third element is B1. And the last element is C2. Okay. Now, try this one. So, we have set F, set G, and set H. Yun. So, in set F, direction muna pala. Which of the following mapping diagrams represent our function? So, you have to identify what type of mapping diagram is illustrated. Kung one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, or many-to-many. So, in set F, we have the domain Bangkok, Jakarta, and Kuala Lumpur, and also Manila. And in the range of set F, we have Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. So the image of Bangkok is Thailand, the image of Jakarta is Indonesia, the image of Kuala Lumpur is Malaysia, and the image of Manila is Philippines. Next, set G, we have the elements in domain. We have the element 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the range are -2, 0, and 2. So the image of 1 is 0, the image of 2 is -2, the image of 3 is 2, and the image of 4 is -2. Next, we have set H. So in domain, we have 5, 3, and 1. And in range, we have 11, 13, and 15, and also 17. So the image of 5 is 17, the image of 3 is 11, the image of 3 as well as 15, and 1 has 2 images. We have 13 and 17. Now you have to identify the mapping diagrams if they are function or not function, and also what type of mapping diagram are illustrated. Now let's have the solution. So the set F is a function dahil wala namang umulit sa domain. Set G is also a function. And set H is not a function. Obviously, kasi umulit si element na 3 at si element na 1. So set F is a one-to-one function. One-to-one mapping diagram. Set G is many-to-one. And set H is many-to-many. Next, let's proceed with the vertical line test. So, si vertical line test, isa rin ito sa pag ginagamit para ma-determine kung function nga ba or hindi function ang isang given function or relation. So, a graph of a relation is a function if any vertical line drawn passing through the graph intersects it at exactly one point. So, madedetermine siya kung nakagraph yung isang function and we are going to draw a vertical line. So, pagka isa lang ang point na nag-intersect, function siya. Pero pagka more than one ang nag-intersect na point, hindi siya function. Okay, let's have this straight line. So, is it a function or not sa tingin nyo? Kung titignan nyo mabuti at walang equation, medyo mahirap masabi kung function nga ba o hindi. Pero using vertical line test, it is as easy as ABC. So, all you have to do is to draw a vertical line. So, dapat isang point lang ang matamaan niya. Ayun. So, isang point lang ang tatamaan. Therefore, we can conclude that this graph is a function. Okay, next example. We have this parabola. So, it's facing upward. Function kaya yan o hindi? Let's see. So, here we draw a vertical line and it passes through one point. Let's draw another vertical line. It also intersects one point. And another vertical line to check whether it is a function. So, it also passes one point. So, kahit ilang vertical line ang dinrawing natin, isang point pa rin ang in-intersect niya. Ibig sabihin, this parabola is a function. So, hindi naman kailangan marami. Pero, if you can see that if you draw a vertical line tapos isa lang ang na-intersect niya na point, therefore, that is a function. Next, we have the graph of this circle. So, circle siya, no? So, we draw a vertical line test. Ilan kaya ang na-intersect na point? So, we have 1 and 2. So, kahit isa pa lang na vertical line ang dinrawing natin, so, the mere fact na nag-intersect siya ng dalawang point, ibig sabihin, this is not a function. And for the last graph, we have this graph. So, let's draw a vertical line. Obviously, it hits 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So, we can conclude that this is not a function. Very easy, right? Now, let's move on with functions as representations of real-life situations. So, functions can often be used to model real-life situations. So, kayo nga nagtatanong, ma'am, saan po namin gagamitin yan sa totoong buhay? So, ito na nga. So, identifying an appropriate function model will lead to a better understanding of various phenomena. So, ginagamit ang function sa totoong buhay. So, hindi lang tinuturo basta sa school, kundi hindi lang natin napapansin, pero ginagamit siya sa araw-araw. Example 1. Give a function c that can represent the cost of buying X meals if 1 meal cost 50 pesos. So, dito sa example nating ito, pinapabigay tayo ng representation ng function na c kung ang isang meal daw ay 50 pesos. So, hindi nakabigay kung ilang meal ang bibilhin, kaya ni-represent natin as X. So, eto na nga yung solution natin. As you can see, in-underline ko yung mga important na details or sabihin na natin given. So, we have here function c. Siya yung magiging function natin. And also, I also underlined X meals. So, sabi niya, we represent the function c as the cost of buying X meals. So, sa solution natin, we can represent as c of x is equal to, so, ang isang meal ay 50 pesos, 50. So, hindi sinabi sa problem kung ilan, pero meron siyang representation, X meals. So, isusulat natin as X. Therefore, ang answer natin, ang representation natin sa problem na ito ay c of x is equal to 50x, or the function of c of x meals is equal to 50 times x, or 50x. Okay, example number 2. 200 meters of fencing is available to enclose a rectangle area next to a river. So, mamaya ipapakita ko yung figure. Give a function a that can represent the area that can be enclosed in terms of x and y. So, ang given natin dito ay 200 meters of fencing. So, ano yung figure na dapat nating i-imagine? Nakasulat dyan, it is a rectangle. Pero, dun sa isang side ng rectangle, merong river. So, tingnan natin yung representation. So, let's have the given. 200 meters, ito yung available na fencing materials na nasabi nga dun sa problem. So, ito yung illustration ng ating problem. So, we have a rectangular space or area, pero sa isang side, yung particularly sa length, hindi siya mababakuran kasi yung side niya is sa river siya. So, ano lang hinahanap natin? Ayun, river siya. So, yung length, pwede nating ilagay as x and y dun sa width. So, ano yung pinapahanap niya? Give a function a that can represent the area that can be enclosed in terms of x and y. So, ibig sabihin, gagamitin natin si formula, the perimeter of a rectangle at area of a rectangle para mahanap natin yung representation na gustong ipahanap ng problem. So, as a part of the solution, kailangan natin ang mga formula na perimeter of a rectangle and area of a rectangle. So, ang perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2x plus 2y. So, ang area is A is equal to x times y. So, kung mapapansin nyo dun sa illustration natin, yung length ay isa lang. Kaya hindi natin lalagay yung 2. So, ilalagay lang natin is x plus 2y is equal to 200. Dahil yung 200, siya yung perimeter or available fencing material. So, ililipat natin si x sa kabila para ma-isolate si y. So, naging negative siya. So, divide natin si 2y by 2 para ma-cancel si 2 at maiwan si y. So, 200 divided by 2 is 100 minus 1 divided by 2 is 0.5x. So, yun na yung value ni y. Ngayon, kunin natin yung area of a rectangle. So, pwede na natin isulat as a of x is equal to, isulat natin si x, times, imbes na y ang isusulat natin ay 100 minus 0.5x. Dahil siya rin yung value niya. So, i-distribute si x sa dalawang term sa loob ng parentheses. So, x times 100 is 100x minus x times 0.5x is 0.5x squared. So, yun na yung sagot. Okay, so next we have piecewise function. A piecewise function or a compound function is a function defined by multiple subfunctions where each subfunction is applied to a certain interval of the main function's domain. Some situation can only be described by more than one formula depending on the values of the independent variable. So, dito sa piecewise, hindi lang isa yung formula na nakabigay. So, marami siya. So, sabi nga, multiple. And from the word itself, compound, ibig sabihin marami. So, yung isang formula, yung isang function, meron siyang dalawa or tatlo na subfunctions. So, sa mga ibang problem kasi, merong mga interval na given. So, hindi lang pwede yung iisa na formula. Kaya, marami yung mga formula na ilalagay sa iisang function lang. Okay, let's have example number 3 for you to understand piecewise functions further. So, Mr. Reyes is charged 499 pesos monthly for a particular mobile plan which includes 100 free text messages. So, si Mr. Reyes daw ay merong isang mobile plan and nagbabayad siya ng 499 monthly at yung kanyang plan na yon ay may kasamang 100 free text. So, messages in excess of 100 are charged 1 peso each. So, pagka lumampas daw ng 100 yung kanyang na-text, na-charge si Mr. Reyes ng piso kada text. Represent the monthly cost for text messaging using the function T of M, where M is the number of messages sent in a month. So, the problem is asking us to represent a function yung monthly cost na babayaran ni Mr. Reyes. So, it's either hindi siya lumampas dun sa 100 or lumampas si Mr. Reyes sa 100 na free text. Yun yung sinasabi ko na dalawang formula dahil merong interval. So, we are going to represent the function T of M and yung M ay ibig sabihin ay number of messages sent in a month. So, ito na yung solution. The cost of text messaging can be expressed by the piecewise function. Tingnan mabuti. T of M, ito yung representation niya. So, M is the number of text messages in 1 month. Is equal to, so we use a brace, 499 pesos kung, so if the number of messages is greater than 0 but less than 100. Okay, ulitin ko kung paano basahin itong una. So, 499 ang babayaran niya. Ito yung unang formula. 499 ang babayaran niya kung yung number of text messages na na-send niya ay greater than 0. Huwag niyong pansinin to. Ibig sabihin nito ay greater than 0. So, nakalagay siya 0 less than, M less than or equal to 100. Ganito babasahin niya na, hindi less than. So, the M is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 100. Ang ibig sabihin nito, yung number of text messages daw ay mas marami sa 0, pero mas konti or pwedeng equal sa 100 message. Yan yung unang interval. So, hindi lumampas sa 100. 499 ang babayaran ni Mr. Reyes. Next. So, ito yung another formula. What if daw lumampas? Ito na nga. 499 plus the quantity M minus 100. Bakit ganyan? Kasi nga, kung lumampas si Mr. Reyes sa 100, ito yon, M is greater than 100. Yung kanina, hindi lalampas, equal lang siya or hindi lalampas sa 100. Yung ngayon, dito, lumampas na si Mr. Reyes sa 100. Kaya ganito na yung formula niya. 499 yung fixed plan niya, kung hindi lalampas, plus M minus 100. Ano yung M minus 100? Bakit M minus 100? M yung total number of text messages na i-send ni Mr. Reyes minus 100. Bakit mo minus siya ng 100? Dahil, syempre, kukunin mo yung sobra dun sa 100. Yun yung i-add mo sa 499. Okay? So, yan ang solution. Yan ang representation ng problem kanina at tinatawag natin yung piecewise function. Okay, so let's have example number 4. A jeepney ride costs 8 pesos for the first 4 kilometers, and each additional integer kilometer adds 1 peso and 50 centavos for the fare. Use a piecewise function to represent the jeepney fare in terms of the distance d in kilometers. So, let's discuss this first. So, as you ride on a jeep, meron tayong tinatawag na minimum fare. So, mostly, ang minimum fare is 8 pesos for the first kilometer. So, in our problem, ang minimum fare ay 8 pesos. Kahit 3 kilometers man or 1 kilometer lang ang tinravel mo, 8 pesos pa rin ang babayaran. Pero kung lumampas ka na ng 4 kilometers, mag-a-add ka na ng 1 peso and 50 centavos. Kahit ang na-travel mo ay 4.5 or 4.8 or 5 kilometers or 5.2 kilometers, magdadagdag ka pa rin ng 1.5 or 1 peso and 50 centavos per integer kilometer. Ibig sabihin, kahit na point man lang ang nabuo, na nadagdag, dadagdag ka pa rin ng 1 peso and 50 centavos sa pamasahe mo. So, you are going to represent a piecewise function in terms of the distance that you have traveled. Okay? And this is our solution. The cost of jeepney fare can be expressed by the piecewise function. Remember, sa first kilometer daw, ang minimum fare is 8 pesos. Tapos, sa bawat kilometer na dadagdag or point kilometer, nadadagdagan siya ng 1 peso and 50 centavos. So, f of d, for the function of the distance, is equal to, so we have this brace, 8 pesos daw sa first 4 kilometers. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya lalampas sa 4 kilometers. So, basahin natin, gaya ng kanina. The distance is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 4 kilometers. 8 pesos ang babayaran nun. Pero, kung sumobra sa 4 kilometers yung na-travel mo by riding a jeepney, magdadagdag ng 1 peso and 50 centavo per kilometer. So, ito nga, 8 plus 1.5 times d minus 4. Bakit d minus 4? So, ito muna. Si 8, ito yung regular fare. Plus 1.5 sa bawat kilometro na madadagdag. Bakit d minus 4? Si d minus 4, ito yung distance na na-travel mo minus yung 4, yun yung first 4 kilometers na na-travel na kung saan 8 pesos yung minimum fare. So, kunwari, naka-travel ka ng 7 kilometers. 7 minus 4, yung sobra doon is 3. So, siya yung multiply sa 1.5. Tapos, i-add mo sa 8. Okay? So, thank you so much for listening and hope you learned a lot from this video. You may now answer your modules in General Mathematics. Good luck! Have a nice day! This is Teacher EJ signing off. So, abangan nyo yung next video natin for the next module.